Good morning. It's Saturday and it's Stamp It Saturday here at From Me to Paper Crafts. My name is Erica and I am really excited this morning. I'm always excited. If you're a new watcher, you need to know I always get excited about crafting with you and using all of our beautiful new products from our annual catalog that went live on May the 3rd. So let me just, I like to watch your comments coming in and try and keep up with what you're saying. And I use my laptop for that. So let me just find where I am live right now. And I use my laptop for that. And so let me just find where I am live right now. Sorry, I need to turn off my sound on my laptop so you can only hear me here. And yeah, I think we're ready to go. Oh, what's going on here? There we go. Good morning, Carol Lynn. Nice of you to join in. So this morning I am going to be using, and Lori is here. Hi, Lori. Nice to see you. Today I'm going to be using, we're making a really cute little box. It's called an explosion box. And I will give you all of the measurements. I'll put them in the post afterwards so that you can actually make one. Very, very, very simple. I think simple enough for even a new crafter because it's not very difficult at all. I thought I would use, oh, got a hair in my mouth. I thought I would use the Happiness Abounds stamp set. This is brand new in the catalog and it's got some lovely dies associated with it. We're not going to use it much, because I just want to, I thought I would stamp and color this cute little rose and maybe a couple of leaves to put on top of the box, okay? You can do anything for the top of the box. You could just do a simple label with a greeting that says hello or thank you, or you can, you know, further embellishment. I'm also pretty excited. I'm going to be using, this is my little package of in color blends. Look at all the beautiful colors. So I'll be coloring the rose and the leaves with the blends. So excited. Look, I mean, they're just brilliant. Look at them. Love those. And we're going to be using the In Color Designer Series papers. Every time Stampin' Up! Comes with new In Colors, they come out with a 6x6 pack of DSP so that you have all of the coordination together. So we're going to be making a beautiful box, cute box with this gorgeous Orchid Oasis paper. I think it's now my official favorite color because every time my eye glances over there, this is the one that I really, really love. And so the papers, I'm going to turn the camera down now because I have my catalog here and I want to show you where these papers are. Good morning, Barbara. So let's turn our camera down. And I have to move it up. Okay, let's see how that goes on my laptop. Okay, so we've got some shadows happening here. These overhead lights are great, but they cause a lot of shadows. So let's see if my wonky lamp will work today. I think I was telling everybody about my wonky lamp. I'm going to have to buy a new one. Okay, here we go. All right, so these are the papers. They're on page 135. They're just after all of the pages of our beautiful Designer Series papers. So here it is, In Color 6x6. And of course, they've refreshed the designs. So they refreshed the designs in the brights, neutrals, regals, and subtles patterns or color families. I mean, I have all these color families from last year, but these prints, I mean, I love a plaid, so I'm glad they brought back a plaid, and I love little polka dots, and I love flowers and stripes. So to me, these patterns, I'll use these way more than I did the last batch. But I always like to buy them because whenever I'm grabbing, I love to do what are called monochromatic cards. And monochromatic cards is when everything is, you know, the same color. And so it's good to have those papers. All right, so I'm going to use those, and I should show you the Hues of Happiness suite is right here. This is on pages 108 and 109, and I mean, who doesn't fall in love with the colors in this suite? Let me just turn this page so you can see. I mean, look how gorgeous it is. And they based, actually, the front cover of the catalog is based on that suite. Just beautiful. This is the suite that popped into my eye right away. And I want to find out how to make this bag. This is really, really cool. It actually might be a bag that is in our paper products. We might be able to buy these bags. It's got this really cool handle cut out already. So cool. Okay, so here are the papers, absolutely gorgeous papers. And then here are the stamps. So we're going to use this bundle today. Okay, so I'm just going to show you, here's the papers. And I'm just going to flip through. Look at the colors together. I mean, I don't think they've done... in the past, I think this is the best job they've ever done with these beautiful colors. Look how well they go together so well. So I had a card here that I made with all the colors on it. Is it still here, or did I put it away? Just bear with me 1 second. I just want to show you this card. Oh, I might have put it away. Looks like I put it away already. That was silly. I always like to have it here to show people, but I don't have it now. Well, I'm sorry about that. But anyway, what I did was, as you start cutting up your paper, you end up with strips. So you know that really popular strippy card technique or scrappy card technique that I think it came out of Australia with Kylie Bertucci. Maybe her husband came up with this idea to just use up your scraps of cardstock or designer series paper. So you could have 1/2-inch strips or 1-inch strips, or you could have variety widths of strips, and then you just kind of slap them down easy, like they don't have to go on straight. And so I had some strips of all of these from another project, and I put them all together on a card, and they all went together. It's just amazing. All right. So that's that. And let's just put them back in my little bag. All right, so I've got my instructions here, and I've got my paper cut already. So here we go. We're going to be making a bottom and a top. The bottom is out of the colored cardstock. The top is out of basic white. You can do anything you want. Then I've got some sheets of this beautiful paper, and I'm going to cut some little squares to decorate the box and the lid. And then I want to show you, you can make this adorable little card to go inside the box. It's a really tiny little card. Okay, so these measurements I'll put up as well. So this is not my idea. This I got actually from Rhonda Wade. She does these really great quick Friday lunchtime things. Like, they're really fast. And it's amazing how she whips up these little projects. So who else is watching? Sharon made it this morning. Good for you. Nice to see everybody. Okay, let's get started. Now, when I make boxes, I mean, you can use your Stampin' Trimmer, and actually this is pretty easy to use your Stampin' Trimmer with, or you can use your scoreboard. So I do like to have a scoreboard for box projects. I would love Stampin' Up! To come out with a mini scoreboard, something that's not quite so big. Here I'm trying to drink a cup of coffee while I craft this morning. Oh my goodness, that's so delicious. All right, so scoring, pretty simple. So this piece of cardstock measures, I think this is 7.5 by 7.5. Just move things aside here. Okay, can you see this in the camera? Okay, let me grab my scoring tool. Okay, and I think you know my trick already. I always like to take a piece of wax paper and I like to just smush it over the cardstock. You don't have to do this on designer series paper, just on cardstock, and you'll notice that your stylus will just go so smoothly. My paper is crooked. Oh no, is it? Yes, it's totally crooked on that side. Oh, well, that's not going to work out. You do have to cut the boxes. You have to be pretty straight. I don't know what happened there. I used my guillotine. So sorry, I'm just going to run and get my guillotine because I'm afraid that won't work. So 7.5. By 7.5. I must have not had it. I must have not had the cardstock butted up on the top edge there. Let's put this away so it'll get mixed up. Okay, wax paper again. Oh, there we go. That's totally square now. All right, so what you're going to do on this 7.5 by 7.5 is you're going to score at 2.5 and 5 inches on both sides. Now with cardstock, I do like to use the smaller tip, and on designer series paper, I always use the fatter tip. Okay, so 2.5, and at 5. So 2.5 and 5, and rotate it, and 2.5 and 5. 2.5 and 5. And that's the base of your box, okay? So you've got 9 perfect squares, and then you're going to cut your DSP to fit on those squares, okay? So let's do the lid while we're at it. Okay, where did I put that piece of paper? Here it is. So the lid measures 4.5 by 4.5, and you are simply going to score at 1 inch on all 4 sides. Hey, good morning, Tanya. Aren't you doing a live this morning? Okay, we're scoring this at 1 inch on all 4 sides. So 1, 1, 1, and 1. Okay, really simple. And we're done with the scoreboard, so we can put that away. Now, if you were making a bunch of these little boxes, you could get all your scoring done, you know, at once. All right, so let's show you what the next job is. So I am going to fold on the mountain side, and I'm going to use my bone folder. So I just have to rotate the cardstock and turn it, and you're going to need your paper snips. Okay, and I might as well do the little box as well. I mean, sorry, the lid. Oh, I'll have to check out your masculine cards. Okay, all right, so now I'm going to grab my paper snips. And what we're going to do is, again, if you look at your score lines, you've got this kind of a mountain thing here. So I always like to cut up. I leave the mountain on the tab part. So I'm going to cut up. Now, on this particular box, we do not wedge. So wedging, you've seen me do before, where you take a sliver out, but on this box, you're not going to do that. Because on this box, we're not gluing our tabs. This is a glue-free box. Okay, now I turn it right around and do the same thing on this side. This is called an explosion box, and you probably know what that is already, but if you don't, then you're going to see. Okay, so we're cutting up all of those sides there now. Okay, so I'm going to tell you how this works. This box is going to come together like this. And we're not gluing it. So we're going to put the lid on top so that when somebody opens it, it falls away. Okay? So this is the inside of the box. So on the outside of the box, we need to put our DSP. Now I haven't cut this yet. So we are going to cut, I'm going to bring out my, so I need pieces that measure, I think they're 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. No, they're 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. So I need 5 pieces. Okay, so 2 1/4. And 2 1/4. So 2 1/4, 2 1/4, and 2 1/4. 2 1/4. So how many did I say? 4 plus 1 for the lid. So 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. Okay. So let's put our trimmer away. Let's get rid of all these scraps. Put those away. Okay. So we're going to put, now it's important where you place these, okay? You're going to put down 3 in a row. So 3 in a row, and then you're only putting 1 over here. Okay, so if you want to go ahead and take a photo of that, you're welcome to. So you put your paper 3 in a row and 1 on this opposite side. Okay, so I'm going to use my silicone craft sheet and grab my tape runner. How many of you like 3D projects? I love 3D projects. I started making 3D projects way, way back. Probably before I started making cards. Because in those days, sadly, I could say, well, I could go and buy a card. But it's hard to buy a little box or a little cute little bag. This is a great way to use up any of your retired DSP. If you had a kids' party, oh my gosh, wouldn't these be cute for a kids' party? And you could fill it with maybe candies or some little tiny, I don't know, toys or little puzzle pieces or something. And they get this little explosion box. Okay, so that's the box. All right, so when you put it together, you are lifting up these middle pieces because there's no DSP. See that? You lift these up, and then these have no DSP on them. So then you lift those up next, okay? So now you have one piece of DSP here, and then when you wrap this piece, you now have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of DSP. See that? So I'll do it again. Let's orient the box the right way. Okay, so you lift the two middle pieces up first. Then the piece that doesn't have any DSP on the two outside flaps, you lift that up next. And then you wrap the side that has all DSP. Okay, so you end up with 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's your box. Okay, now we're going to make the lid. Now, don't ask me what I'm putting in this box because I haven't made a plan yet. I have no idea. But I always have the Lindt chocolate balls in my craft room, and I always have the Ferrero Rocher little chocolate nuggets. So 1 or 2 might fit in this box. Okay, what am I looking at? Now, another idea, which I didn't plan for this morning, but because it's an explosion box, of course, when the person opens it, the candies will kind of fall out over the box. And you could always add, like, you could stamp something in the middle as a little surprise, like, hope you enjoyed the candy, or you could say a surprise, or you could say have a great day, or, you know, find an appropriate stamp to put in the middle. You could, you know, put a little circle, or, you know, whatever you think, a little heart maybe. Just, you know, decorate the bottom as an extra surprise. Okay, let's pull in the lid. Now, the lid we do have to glue. So I have already scored and burnished the edges. So same thing, you're going to cut up again on all 4 sides, the 4 tabs. Now this time you are going to wedge, you only need to wedge the outside, okay, because you don't want the outside. And sometimes it's easier to wedge from the score line in so that you get right in that corner. You see? So if you go right from that corner and wedge out. From the score line and wedge out. Okay, so you have your 4 edges so that when you fold up your box, you see that wedged piece won't stick out from the side of the box, which is really helpful. Now, before we put that together, I'm going to glue on my DSP. Now, my other plan was to stamp this little rose. So I'm going to stamp this little rose and maybe color it. So I need another piece of cardstock. So I cut this at 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. So let's go 2 by 2 now. Let's see. By 2. Okay. Excuse me. So this is a small piece to stamp on, but this will fit on here, okay? And the other thought was maybe I will just, I don't know if I should stamp or cut out the leaves. This is a cute little sprig too. So So maybe we'll do these on... Okay, let's get out my Memento black ink. One thing I want to tell you is that also when you are coloring flowers, you may not always want to stamp it with the black ink because it's pretty stark. Like you've got this soft, beautiful flower, and then you've got these harsh black edges. So the basic gray basic gray ink pad, and also the smoky slate. No, not smoky slate. Sorry. Smoky. What's it called? Smoky gray. Gray. Oh my gosh, I've forgotten the name now. The light gray color. Excuse me. Is great. Oh my goodness. I'm struggling with my voice in the mornings. I'm sure it's still allergies. Okay, but I don't have those colors out right now, so I'm going to stick with the black. But keep that in mind to either use the basic gray or yeah, gray granite's good too. But the other light gray one. Where am I? Okay, I got to concentrate here, ladies. I want to say it's smoky slate, but I don't think it is. Okay, so I'm going to color that. I'm going to let that dry. And then I'm going to, and also, I mean, your leaves and stuff, I should be stamping these maybe in green. But I'm going to color them and cut them out. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to use, of course, our new in colors. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the orchid. So there's a dark and a light. So I'm going to start off with the light. I think I'm going to have to pull this closer to me so I can see what I'm doing. And I apologize for my grid mat. I forgot to change it again. So this is quite a, this is the lighter of the two blends, and it's quite dark. So we'll see what happens when we Now, some of you may be thinking, well, it's all one flower, it's all one color. Why aren't I just scribbling over the whole thing? But I do find that I want to avoid the black ink from smudging. It shouldn't smudge. That's what it was designed for alcohol markers. But it's just my persnickety way. Wow, new blends are nice and juicy. I have a few colors that I need to replace. They've kind of run out. Okay, so look at that color. It's just brilliant. I'm going to put a bit of dark in here and see. I'm just going to add a little bit of dark just to give it some definition. In the center of the flower. And then wherever there would be a shadow, I'll put a little bit of a mark there. Okay. And then you go back to the light, or I go back to the light, and then I just like to kind of blend it out a little bit. Okay, there we go. And then let's pull in this absolutely stunning parakeet party. I had a budgie bird when I was a young girl. No, that's not right. Well, I did. Sorry. I had a budgie bird when I was a young girl, when I was living in Montreal. And it was a blue budgie bird, beautiful blue budgie bird. And then after I moved out west, and Devin was, I don't know, in elementary school, I got another blue bird. I just wanted another budgie. And she was feeling a bit left out. So I said, okay, well, if you want to learn about budgies and looking after them, we'll get you a budgie bird. So we did. And, well, I guess you can guess how that story works. She just was not interested, and it was too much work, and she kind of whined and complained. And anyway, so I had these two birds, and the second one was a green color. So it was this parakeet, beautiful green, dark and light green color. That's why I'm telling the story, because of the color. Anyway, oh my gosh, they did not get along at all. They fought all the time. There were feathers everywhere, and budgie birds kind of spit. So there were these, spit marks, and I had them in the living room, close to the window so that they could look outside and just be in more daylight. And they just fought. In the middle of the night, you could hear them fighting. And my husband said, that's it. They got to go. So we found a young boy who took them off our hands. Thank you, Barbara. Smoky Slate. Yes, it was. I think I did have that name right. Okay, so there's our little flower, and I don't know. I don't think I'm going to cut out the leaves. I don't know. I think the flower just by itself is sweet. What do you guys think? I don't think I want to overcomplicate it. I mean, look how sweet that is. So again, what you could do is do the exact same thing and then put it on the bottom of the box. Wouldn't that be cute if you did this exact same thing inside the bottom of the box as a little surprise? That would be cute. So I could do it later, but let's just continue on. Okay, so we have the top of our box. So now we're going to put these two pieces together. Oh, thanks, you guys. Just the flower. Yeah, don't need to complicate things. Sometimes it's fun to complicate things, but... Okay. And then let's put this on. Sweet and simple is what we're going for. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I love that color. All right, now we're going to put the box together. Okay, so really simple. I'm just going to put, I'm going to use our strong Stampin' Seal. Get it going. And I'm just going to put this on all the tabs. It's unbelievable how strong this tape is. You could use Tombow glue, which is usually my preference for making boxes. Okay, so now you're going to make sure it's lined up before you stick it, because this is strong tape. So I'm just matching up the side with that fold, and I always put my thumb there to make sure it doesn't go over the edge. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 edges. This is another trick for box making. I'm only going to glue 2 of the tabs, And then I'm going to pull up my box. Okay, there's my box with my 4 pieces of DSP. Okay, then I'm going to put my lid on. Okay, and then I'm going to put my other sides on. Okay, and that's going to fit nicely. So let's just pull this in. And then you can glue your last side on. There you go. Okay. So what do you think? Isn't that cute? And it was pretty simple, don't you think? Look how cute. And then you lift off the lid. And then, well, it should fall open when the candies are in there. I should have got some candies. But anyway, ladies, there is your... You always have to figure out where the 3 pieces are to put it back together. But there is your box. Cute, huh? It's adorable. Thank you. Yes, it's adorable. Oh, I might put some little gemstones on there. You could put some Wayne Costello on there. Oh my gosh. Okay, now I want to show you this adorable little card. Okay, so actually this is where, you know, you could do the surprise in the bottom of the box, or you could create a little card to go in the box. So this will fit inside the box. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to do the same little flower, I think. We'll do the same flower on here. And then I would like to find either a small little thank you to put down here. Now this stamp set doesn't have a thank you, but you could put friend. So let's put friend on here. Is that too long? Let's see. Nope, that will work. Let's put friend on here. Oops, that's not inked up properly. These are, you know, I haven't used this stamp set much, so I'm going to just condition it. Just stamp it and stamp it off, and rub it a little bit on your paper. Sometimes the stamps may have a bit of a, I don't know what you'd call it, like a film on the stamp. There we go. Okay. So again, let's do some coloring. So what are your plans for the rest of the day? I have to head to the post office. I've got a couple of catalogs to mail off. And I need to pick up a few things from the drugstore. I don't need any groceries because we've already planned dinner. Oh my gosh, last night we had the most fantastic dinner. We found this recipe. Any of you familiar with Eric Akis? He writes for the Times Colonist. He's a chef. Anyway, he has this recipe for halibut. And that halibut, it was expensive, so be prepared. But anyway, and it uses a bit of panko breadcrumbs, and I think it has Dijon mustard in it, and my husband made it, and I think it, and lemon. I love lemon, anything with lemon in it. Anyway, so there's a bit of a crust on the top, and then you you cook the sauce on the stove top and then pour it on the plate first, and then you put the halibut on top of the sauce. And then I made my favorite Brussels sprouts recipe in our Actifry. They're to die for. And then I made a rice rice with lemon juice and Parmesan cheese. Oh my gosh, that was so yummy. So that was our dinner, and it was really good. And tonight we're having stuffed pasta. Okay, there is our other flower. I think I'll use the real pointy end this time for the green. That's better. The other one overlapped a little bit. Okay, so this is for the card. Now I have to score this. And this one card measures 5 by 2.5. So it needs to be scored at 2.5. And actually, I should have cut another piece of I need another piece of this. What was this? 2 1/4, I think. 2 1/4 by 2 1/4, was it? Yeah, 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. It's National Scrapbooking Day today. Yes, I saw that. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, I just chose to never scrapbook myself. Okay, that didn't work out. Yes, I guess it wasn't planned for DSP. I could trim this. That was my mistake. This is just meant to go right on the card. I could trim it, but I'm going to cut off my friend loops here. So I could put the DSP maybe on the inside. Yeah, I'll put it on the inside with maybe just a circle for my whatever message I want to write in there. Yeah, I never got into that scrapbooking phase. My girlfriend Carol and I, we got married the same year, and we had planned for our 25th wedding anniversaries that we would, she wanted to redo her wedding album because she had one with one of those, I'm going to say ugly, it was just really ugly, one of those puffy covers on the album, and then it had an oval frame that was all lacy and puffy, and oh, it was just hideous, in my opinion. Anyway, I guess it was the style of the day, and I don't think she made it. I think somebody made it for her. Anyway, she wanted to redo hers. We never put an album together. Yeah, we never put an album together. So, I wanted to create an album. And so we said, okay, whenever there's a sale, and this is before Stampin' Up, whenever there's a sale, we'll just collect stuff for wedding albums. And I collected a whole bunch of stuff. And our plan was to try and meet often and scrapbook together for these wedding albums. Well, she lives across the border, so that didn't happen. Anyway, I sat down one day, and it took me all day to try and design one page. And I said, you know what? I just can't do this. It's just going to take me forever. So guess what? We never made it. Okay, so we have these new, no, we don't. That's not it. I thought I brought them out. We have these new dies, which are just really great. They're stitched, double stitched dies. These are called the Stylish Shapes dies. I just love these, and so I'm going to cut out a circle and put it in here in white, and then I can write whatever I want on that little card. But there you go, ladies. There is your box, and then this does fit inside the box. So you fill it with candies and maybe put the card on the top, and then close your lid, and there's your little box. Isn't that, I'm so happy the way that turned out, and I like the simplicity of just the flower. Isn't that cute? So I hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, I will, when the video is finished, I will put all of the cutting and scoring measurements in the description, and you can go back and have a look. And then if you make one, I would love for you to post it back to this video. That would be great. Anyway, thank you, ladies. Go and enjoy your day, and we will see you Monday morning for Moho Monday. Thanks, ladies. Bye for now.